the year 2411 BC, the first human incarnation of Zixclaila dies at the age of 112. At the moment of her death, her younger brother, her daughter, and her granddaughter surround her, all wishing her a safe journey into the next dimension. At the same moment that Zixclaila takes her last breath, she is aware of her spirit leaving and hovering over her aged body. She observes her family here for the last time and fondly sends them her blessings before she feels an energy pull her spirit away from her family and earthly remains. At her next moment of consciousness, Zixclaila finds herself amidst what seems like eternities of glowing stars and galaxies. She notices that she is not standing on anything and is merely suspended in space. Before she has any chance to realize that she might just fall and disappear into this celestial mystery, she hears something move. She glances up to find a very enormous figure standing just a few feet away from herself. She is startled by her realization that she is not alone and becomes even more astounded when she realizes that this figure stands about 15 feet high. She scans the figure from the bottom to the top, scaling up a very large body of a man with the head of a bird with a long, sharp, and narrow beak. The figure is also holding a scroll and seems to be watching Zixclaila and taking notes. She immediately recognizes the figure from drawings and realizes that it is Thoth, the scribe of the gods. It seemed as if immediately after Zixclaila was able to recognize Thoth, she felt the presence of another close by. She leaned over to her left and peered past the gigantic body of Thoth. There, sitting on a magnificent throne made of gold and lapis, sat the lord of the underworld, Osiris. At that moment, Zixclaila realized where she was and knew she was present at her moment of judgment. Osiris looks into Zixclaila's eyes while gesturing with his arm towards something behind her. She looks over her shoulders and recognizes the scale held by Anubis that will determine the fate of her eternity. There, resting on the left side of the scale, lies Zixclaila's heart, motionless but still possessing the energy of life. Anubis gently places an ostrich feather onto the other side of the scale and waits for the scale to balance itself. Zixclaila's heart weighs as light as the feather. All the while, Thoth is jotting everything down furiously onto the scroll. Zixclaila looks up at Osiris to validate the verdict. Osiris holds up an ankh and with warm intention offers it to Zixclaila. Her heart proved pure, and she would live again in eternity.